Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis rematch is prime for next year. The prospective rematch between Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis will be prime for 2025. That's according to Pitbull Cruz manager Sean Gibbons, who told this week that a second fight against Gervonta Davis is likely only a matter of time, as his fighter continues to develop a significant fan base. The 26-year-old must first dispatch his next opponent, Jose Valenzuela, whom he faces Saturday at the 22,000-capacity BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. The sole main future to Terence Crawford's return to the ring against Madrimo. So, Jose Valenzuela upset Isaac Cruz by split decision to capture the WBA junior welterweight title Saturday at BMO Stadium. One judge scored the bout 115-113 for Cruz, but was overruled by 112 and 116-112 scores for Valenzuela. The win continued a stunning turnaround for Valenzuela, who suffered back-to-back defeats in 2022-2023 at 35 pounds, following a third-round knockout loss to Edwin De Los Santos. Valenzuela dropped a unanimous decision to Chris Colbert. Valenzuela's fortunes changed in the December 2023 rematch with Colbert when he scored a spectacular 6-round knockout victory. Following the win, Valenzuela moved up to 140 pounds to challenge for his first world title. He came through with a career-best performance, boxing with a discipline against the hard-charging, ultra-popular Pitbull Cruz. Shakur Stevenson discusses talk with Gervonta Davis team amid rumors they will fight in November. That fight is going to happen. Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis were reportedly in agreement to clash for the unified lightweight world title in November. However, shortly after those reports were released, both fighters dispelled them as being inaccurate, but Stevenson remains optimistic about scheduling a clash with the WBA lightweight champion, although he is not sure if it will take place in 2024. Both pugilists are regarded as top talents in the boxing world and hold undefeated records of 22-0 and 30-0 respectively. During a recent interview, WBC lightweight champ shed light on discussions with the Davis team about a potential lightweight title unification bout. He said, "They wanted to make the fight, we just told them to send an offer, we haven't heard anything back yet. Like I said, that fight is going to happen. I'm not going to act like fight is not going to happen. Me and Davis are the best fighters coming up, the best fighters in the 35-pound division. There is no way the fight doesn't happen. I'm not scared to fight him, he is not scared to fight me. It's going to be a hell of a fight when it happens." Shakur Stevenson backs crazy Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Ahead of the clash, Stevenson shared his thoughts on Crawford's upcoming clash and labeled the former undisputed welterweight champion as crazy for his decision to move up to 54 pounds and face Madrimo. He said, "Making this decision to come up and fight this guy just proves to me how crazy he is. I think that the crazy guys are usually the greatest people in the world. I think you need a crazy upset." The WBC lightweight champ was also asked for his thoughts on Bat potentially facing Canelo Alvarez in the future, a fight that Crawford has called for. He said, "I think you will beat Canelo. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He is bigger. I think Bat is just a better boxer. A lot of people are gonna respect his boxing abilities if he can show it in front of the Canelo Alvarez. I honestly think he beats Canelo," he said. Gervonta Davis names his toughest opponent as he dismisses Shakur Stevenson's challenge. Gervonta Davis is without a doubt one of the biggest commercial draws in boxing, and with that, he holds the power to pick and choose who he steps into the ring against. Davis was last out in June and once again delivered another stunning knockout, this time against previously undefeated American Frank Martin. WBC champ Shakur Stevenson then called for the fight, and although initial reports suggest that a deal was in place, both fighters quickly dismissed this as fake news. Many pundits feel Stevenson will be the toughest test for Gervonta at 135. However, in an interview with the Saiga Talk, the Baltimore native denied this and called the 27-year-old easy work. Hell no, that's not my hardest fight. Why would it be? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me. His power is not outrageous. What offense? He just jumps back. You never see him slip, no punches. You just see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around, move around. He ain't got no technique. Easy work. I touched him with 16-ounce gloves on and he ran. Imagine if I hit him with 8-1 gloves. In a separate interview with the Boxing News, when asked who would give him his toughest fight, Davis still believes his old promoter and now retired 50-0 legend Floyd Mayweather would be his hardest night's work. Probably Mayweather, he said. Although the two have gone back and forth at each other on social media, it's hard to imagine Mayweather would ever return to the ring to face his one-time prodigy. Shakur Stevenson gives update on the possible Gervonta Davis showdown. Big-time fight could be on the cards. WBC lightweight champ Shakur Stevenson has shed some light on a possible clash with the Gervonta Davis, and it looks like the titanic battle is edging closer to happening. Rumors have circulated about a possible All-American unification affair, where Davis would put his WBA title on the line, despite fears over Stevenson's pay-per-view draw. Speaking to Boxing News, the 27-year-old confirmed talks had taken place between the two camps, and now it's about playing a waiting time. He said, "Yeah, there have been conversations between our teams. The only thing that I heard was that they wanted to make the fight, and we just told them to send an offer. We haven't heard nothing back yet, but that fight is going to happen. I'm not going to act like the fight is not going to happen. Me and him are the best. We are the best fighters coming up. Best fighters in the 35-pound division. There is no way that the fight is not happening. I know that fans want to scream and say all of these things like, this guy is darking. They want to find a person and say that somebody is darking. I ain't scared to fight him and he is not scared to fight me. And it's going to be a hell of a fight when it happens. That's the biggest fight in all of boxing. I don't think that there is a fight bigger than me and Gervonta. Maybe Bat Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is right there. But truthfully, if we are speaking skill for skill and what the fight fans want to see, people who appreciate and love the sport of boxing, that is the fight, he said. Paul Malignaggi names the one fighter who would easily beat Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson is a fight right at the top of most wish lists of boxing fans. A match-up between the two unbeaten lightweight champions presents an intriguing clash of styles. Gervonta, the WBA belt holder, is one of the hardest pound-for-pound punchers in the sport, boasting an incredible 28 knockouts from his 30 professional fights. On the other hand, Stevenson, the WBC champion, is the master boxer who abides by the old boxing adage of hit and don't get hit. The difference in approach means that Gervonta has become by far the bigger commercial draw and will hold most of the cards of the two do enter into negotiations. Former two-way world champion turned analyst Paul Malignaggi told that Stevenson would make it look easy if he ever got in the ring with Davis. Shakur Stevenson is the most cerebral boxer in boxing today. He is the best fighter. If he is looked at in the correct way, he will be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world one day. This guy is the best pure boxer in the sport. Nobody can touch him, nobody can beat him, including the elite level guys. Shakur Stevenson would beat Gervonta Davis, and he would make it look pretty easy. I'll tell you what, Gervonta's power is always a wild card, but Shakur is way too good, Malignaggi said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.